Hey everyone, welcome back. Now, just moving sideways, there were actually some major developments over the past few days that we need to talk about. In today's video, I'm going to break down the massive trade deal that was just announced, what it means for crypto and art portfolios, and I'll show you some fascinating charts that point to Bitcoin's next big move. Plus, I'll reveal who's actually selling Bitcoin right now and share the exact trades I'm taking. So make sure you stick around from start to finish. Let's dive right into the charts. Bitcoin is currently consolidating around the $110,000 level, and we can see the daily candle is resting right on this support zone. We've got a slight green candle forming, which suggests we might push a bit higher from here. Now, here's what's interesting. We've already made a higher low, but we've also made a lower high. This means we're consolidating within a tightening pattern, and soon we're going to have to make a decision. Are we breaking out to the upside, or are we going to break down from these lows? Personally, I think it's much more likely that we'll see this continue towards the upside. I still believe we're going to see the market peak in 2026, so I remain bullish on the overall trend. So, what am I doing personally? Well, I'm taking a short-term trade here. This isn't a long-term position. I already have my long-term strategies running, which are making consistent gains day by day. For this short-term trade, I'm targeting the previous swing high at $114,500. I believe we're going to test this level at the very least. I've entered with 10x leverage at $110,500, which means a 4% move would give me about 40% gains. Now, what happens if the trade goes against me? I have a plan for that too. I'll accumulate more at $106,000 and then load up again at $100,000. See, I have a strategy for both scenarios, whether we go up or down. I'll keep you updated on how this plays out. As for Ethereum and BNB, they're just moving sideways right now. Gold is still holding strong resistance and looks like it wants to push lower, which is actually a good sign for us. Let me give you a quick update on my trading strategies. My main positions are up almost $1.3 million right now. On my 100x challenge, we're making more gains every single day. Now, because the price has dropped since I compounded, we're still at a slight loss overall. But the important thing is that the algorithm is performing exactly as planned, generating more profits daily. I'm also adjusting the leverage on one of my positions to 5x so that both accounts have the same parameters. This makes it easier to track performance. If we see a big pullback, I'll take the extra margin and add it to my investment. I've also got positions open on Bitpanda, a super regulated exchange for those who prefer that route. My Bitcoin position there is up about 3%. Links to all these exchanges are in the description, and right now you can get a massive discount on my trading strategies compared to a few weeks ago. Now, let's talk about something really important that's happening behind the scenes. The Federal Reserve is in a bit of a stressful situation right now because there's significant pressure on the banking system. We don't need to understand all the technical details, but here's what matters. If this stress becomes too much for the banks, the Fed is going to step in and stimulate the economy by providing more liquidity. And we all know what that means for crypto. It's huge news for us. So, who's been selling Bitcoin recently? The data shows that almost 32,000 Bitcoin were sent to exchanges at a loss by short-term holders. These are people who bought Bitcoin recently and are now capitulating a bit, taking losses and selling. Long-term holders have also been selling since July 1st. Now, this actually makes sense. These are people who bought Bitcoin 10, 15 years ago. They're up billions of dollars. But here's the thing, they're going to run out of Bitcoin eventually, while demand is either going to stay the same or even increase. So I'm not too worried about this selling pressure. Now, there's one signal that's worrying a lot of people, and that's Zcash. Zcash has almost 10x'd recently, and historically, this has been a significant indicator. If you look at previous cycles, Zcash peaked right after Bitcoin hit its top. It happened in the last cycle, and it's happening again now. So, is there a logical explanation? Maybe people who made money with Bitcoin want to use privacy coins to hide their wealth? Who knows? But the pattern is there, and it's concerning some traders. We'll have to see if this time is different or if history repeats itself. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The trade deal announced by President Trump. This is huge. It's the biggest de-escalation yet between the US and China. Now, Bitcoin didn't react super strongly to this news initially. Crypto pumped a little bit, but not as much as you'd expect. However, let's see what happens when traditional markets open. They might pump like crazy based on this news, and then crypto could follow along. The reality is that crypto is being suppressed right now by both long-term and short-term holders selling. But like I said, they're going to run out of Bitcoin eventually. Long-term, this trade deal is fantastic for the markets. And maybe the market just hasn't realized yet how good it really is. Another interesting trend, treasury companies that hold crypto are starting to buy back their own stocks because they're undervalued compared to the amount of crypto they hold. Metaplanet is a big example. Now, there's some FUD going around that they're selling all their crypto to buy back shares. That's not entirely true. Many are actually borrowing against their crypto to get the money for buybacks. This is actually positive, but we need to watch if this trend continues. Lastly, I want to mention Momentum, one of the very few new altcoins I'm bullish on. They're doing airdrops right now through MMT Finance. There was some confusion yesterday when Google falsely flagged their website as fraudulent, but that's been fixed. Keep your eyes on this project. I think their token launch is coming very soon, probably in the next few days. So there you have it. The market is consolidating, but there's a lot happening beneath the surface. Stay vigilant, stick to your strategy, and remember, the long-term outlook remains bullish. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.